Now moving into the game, I think hopefully everyone will successfully load now. It's Tactica Gaming from UPLB and Team Meep Merp from Letran. And moving into the drafting phase, we will be having Coach guide us to the picks and to the bans. Coach, please take the stage.
All right, my favorite part of the game. Now, we haven't seen Team Meep Merp yet, so we can't really call on what's going to happen here in terms of the draft. But let's see what Tactica Gaming puts out. Of course, they ban out Doom. Doom is one of the most popular bans actually in the last TI, for very good reason. Doom is has always been the single most powerful single target lockdown. He has the Doom, that's 15 seconds of silence, 15 seconds of any hero just acting like a creep, basically. So if you shut down their initiate, you can shut down their initiate, or you can shut down their best hero, you're effectively capping their fight potential.
Yeah.
And Lycan, another popular ban. He's just very annoying at what he does. He can jungle, he can offlane, and he can take your towers pretty damn fast. Like, before 10 minutes, he can take down 1 or 2 lanes all by himself, and also he can do the solo rush. So that's a pretty big snowball advantage earlier on in the game. No one wants to be giving that away to the enemy.
Mm-hmm. Although you can actually mention, Coach, that information that you provided in the previous games where there's a little bit of fall off when you're playing as Lycan. I think the viewers would be happy to hear about that.
Yeah, a Lycan, although he acts like a carry, he actually is tailored to be a carry, but he isn't 100% too powerful in the late game. He gets very, very good in the mid game because he gets towers down, he gets a lot of good farm, so he gets items generally faster than other carries can. But when it gets to the ultra late game, he falls off because he's not able to utilize all of those items properly with passives. He's a bit lacking in passives, a little bit lacking in steroids, as people in that's what they call them, passive abilities that empower your utilization of items. Steroids, something like a crit or something like an attack speed boost. Those are things that inherently improve the utility that your items give you, and Lycan is a bit lacking in that department. So they banned Faceless Void. Faceless Void is one of the hottest carries right now. Very good team fight potential. He can farm on his own. Here's something people forget about Faceless Void. Did you know that his starting base damage from level 1 is around 70?
I was actually informed that it was pretty high.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I didn't know if the exact value is actually that high.
It's
70
around
is really
it's
high
around
for
70. Yeah, it's really really high. That's why he can go offlane very well, even mid actually. If you give him a quelling blade, that allows him to last hit and deny like a god. Even ranged heroes, even ranged heroes have difficulty getting last hits against Faceless Void because of that huge base damage. So Tactical Gaming gets the Shadow Shaman first. This looks like it's going to be a Death Ball lineup. Shadow Shaman, of course, one of the most popular picks. They haven't picked Death Prophet. There we go, a Death Prophet pick. The second most popular Death Ball lineup. So they're probably going to pick that to deny that from the enemy pick because Death Prophet wasn't banned out. So they want to deny that by turning it into the pick.
And
there we go.
actually go for a Leshrac. Wow. While Leshrac really has that capability to take down towers, it's kind of hard to pull him off as a hero.
Depends on what you're going for. Leshrac is a bit lacking in ganking capability because of that delay on the stun. But if they're just going for a death ball, they just want creeps down, they just want towers down. His edict deals a massive amount of damage. If the tower is isolated, I think it deals around half of the HP of a tier 1 tower and close to that for a tier 2 tower. So
usually,
yeah.
What does Leshrac build when he's going for an edict build? I mean, is it the chain lightning or the splitter?
It really depends, but usually if you're trying to push towers down, you'd want as much AoE damage as possible. Now,
Mm-hmm.
that would entail probably taking Lightning Storm, preferring Lightning Storm over the Split Earth because that deals more damage and is more effective in dealing crowd control than the Split Earth. The Split Earth has quite limited AoE and
Mm-hmm.
even less amount of damage, so it's not really good for taking down creep waves.
I think Splitter it's more of a follow-up stun
Yeah,
if you're going to pull up a chain stun. Yeah.
so if you're going for a pushing build, maybe just one level of Split Earth is good enough, or even none
Mm-hmm.
at all. If you really want to go all out aggressive, you'd be putting your skill points in Edict versus Lightning Storm. Now let's get back to the bans. They ban out
Mm-hmm.
Pugna. Of course, they're banning out Death Ball. They don't want Death Ball. Pugna is banned. Nature's Prophet is banned. Those are both extremely good pushers. No one wants to play against those, apparently. Right now, Dire has a bigger Death Ball. They have Leshrac and Death Prophet, while Radiant only has Shadow Shaman. But Shadow Shaman is potent by himself, by the way. He can
Mm-hmm.
clear towers as long as he gets the wards down on them.
Mm-hmm. As
And
long as long as soon as the wards are casted, absolutely unobstructed, like no one is contesting or trying to defend. Well, Shadow Shaman can like take it in less than 30 seconds, right? Or around 30 to 45 seconds. That's
yeah,
how
around
fast.
around the duration of a creep wave, around 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
we have Tactica Gaming. Oh, we have a ban on Wraith King. Not really sure about that one. But Wraith King is a very good carry hero. He's actually a good utility. He can play any position from 1 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of his
Resurrection.
yeah, his resurrection allows him to be a support hero that doesn't feed, and allows him to be a carry that is a pain in the ass to deal with. Now they get Bristleback. They're going all in with the AoE here. Bristleback is good for zoning out enemy heroes because of his natural tankiness and because of Quill Spray. You don't want to stick around getting hit by Quill Spray every
Skill play.
Squill Prey by Squill Prey every 3 seconds. You know, because that really
Mm-hmm.
adds up, especially if you're defending. If you're defending, you're forced to stay in the area around the tower, and you can't really do that if you're getting Squill Preyed all of the time.
Yeah. On another note, Coach, you might want to check the stream. The stream is currently offline right now, and it's back up. Hold that thought. It's back up. I think it's just a matter of it's just those technical delays coming in. Anyway, yeah. Now, where did I pause you right there? Oh yeah, Alchemist pick coming in for the Radiant team. Are they going for a carry, or I think this is more of a utility, right? I mean, choosing Alchemist this early is quite dangerous if you're going to pick him as a carry.
Yeah, kind of an off the beat pick. Alchemist has fallen off in popularity actually quite recently, and he doesn't actually have too good of a win rate right now in this meta. Um, Alchemist is also quite a good utility, like Wraith King. He can function as a role 1 to 5, but as a position 1, he's kind of fallen off right now because people like to move faster right now. The Death Prophet, the Leshrac, and even the
Mm.
Bristleback that guarantees to take down towers and map control by around maybe level 8 or 9. That's less than
Mm-hmm.
15 minutes into the game. And the Alchemist would be just picking up a bit of inertia by that time, even if he has Grievous Gold, even if he goes for Midas. Yeah, we may be familiar with how the EG game went in TI4. RTZ with his infamous Midas on Alchemist that supposedly lost him the game. So it really shows that Alchemist is a bit lacking in potential outside of being able to farm. You know, if you just don't give Alchemist the room to farm, he's shut down quite easily, and that's easy to do if you have a Death Ball lineup. If you have a lineup that destroys towers really fast, really early on, the Alchemist won't get the space to farm and won't go online. So we have Lich and Jakiro. Those are both great support utility picks. Pretty much the same functional role. And we'll have to see the last bans and last picks. They ban a Naga Siren. Okay. Naga Siren is
I think they don't
pretty...
wanna
Yeah.
get cheesed out because of the ultimate.
Yeah, see, the Death Ball is concentrating on a single lane and focusing on taking down towers straight up to the tier 3 and into the barracks. But Naga Siren holds good defense, especially if she has Radiance. She can effectively split push, and Naga Siren with the Radiance already can undermine a Death Ball strategy by holding off the lane. She can hold off a
Mm-hmm.
lane where they're trying to push, and then by with her illusions alone, she can push another lane. So
Mm-hmm.
it's counter effective to a Death Ball
Mm-hmm.
lineup. So that's a very
Yeah.
good ban. And now they have a puck. I'm not sure where this puck is going. He can go off lane, but that means that the Bristleback would have to take a safe lane.
It's
Um,
going. They're going for a bristleback carry role. Bristleback carry, I believe.
yeah, apparently. But again, as I mentioned in previous casts, this is a meta where people don't need carries anymore. Carries are good if you're planning for a late game, but the Death Ball has
Mm-hmm.
gotten so much popular right now. You take down towers, you gain an advantage. It doesn't matter if your opponent has a carry or not because you're trying to end the game before 30 minutes. So
Yeah, and
that's the objective.
and on that note, I think it's good to. It's I think it's starting to become a trend, right? The positions that were previously defined as to being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are now starting to get blurred. It seems that each for each game, as you said, the carry role is starting to become an optional role. It's now a matter of it's not only a matter of being of having a 1, 2, 3, 5 role, but rather having positions that are more significant depending on how early you want to finish the game, right?
Yeah, so this is really one of those things that makes Dota really exciting. You never know
Mm-hmm.
what's going
Oh,
to happen every time a patch
Shadow
rolls out.
Fiend. Shadow Fiend, quite dangerous. I mean, as Toby one have mentioned before, so Shadow Fiend is very easy to counter. Everyone knows how to counter a Shadow Fiend.
Um, yeah, because Shadow Fiend only deals damage. That's the only thing Shadow Fiend does. Shadow Fiend
Yeah.
deals damage. Not much utility coming with Shadow Fiend, but of course Shadow Fiend is still a good mid hero. Probably one of the best because once he picks up that damage from the souls, he can zone out mids quite easily. So let's see
Mm-hmm.
what they pick. They might go with the puck against the Shadow Fiend actually, because the puck's phase shift can prevent a lot of the damage going in. Now, we're in the game. Can you
Mm-hmm.
introduce the teams for the cast?
All right, so I'm going to go. I'm going ahead to introduce the players for each side. For the Radiant team, it's going to be Tactica Gaming again from UPLB. It's going to be Naru on the Shadow Shaman, Nons on the Jackero, Alpha Papa B on the Alchemist. We have the Invoker taking the mid, played by Togepi, and at the bottom lane, it's going to be Sen. For the Dire team, we have Seb playing as a Death Prophet, who is probably going to run that mid lane. We have Kim running the Hawk on the top lane. Basic on the Bristleback, and now Redman on Lich Rack and Raspberry on the Lich. We see a, I think it's going to be it's going to be an offensive tri lane, coach.
Yeah, and
That's what I'm getting.
this looks like it's going to be bad for the Shadow Fiend because the Shadow Fiend is actually quite vulnerable in this stage of the game. Shadow Fiend has very small HP pool and no natural escapes. Now, going up against this lineup, the Bristleback, the Lich, and the Leshrac, if the Bristleback really wants to get the kill, oh, but he leveled up his Quill Spray already. If it were me and if it were a coordinated tri lane, he could instead pick the Nasal Goo and
Mm-hmm.
get the slow on the Shadow Fiend because you'd have a lot of slows going. The Lightning Storm has a bit of a slow, but the Lich has a better one in the form of Frost Blast. If you get the Frost Blast on, you can easily land a Split Earth after that, and you can get maybe 3, 4 stacks of Nasal Goo on the Shadow Fiend, and because you have two ranged lane mates, they'd be wailing away on that Shadow Fiend with the auto attacks. But that would be my preference. The issue with Quill Spray is, yeah, it deals damage, but you really have to stick with the target to deal that damage. If you can't really stick with that with your target, you're not gonna pull too much Quill Spray stacks on him. So
Mm-hmm.
they're calling out pings. I think they want to scout this out, maybe place a ward, but they're not really confident in going in there.
Yeah, they're waiting for the bristleback to come in. They're not going to see. They're not going to see anyone right there. They're trying really, really safely to put that ward. Although they're actually entering the ramp, the high ground, quite carelessly with the Letran coming in first. I mean, that's the last hero you want to go in to the front of the lines. But anyway, I think it's up to them. I don't know how they're trying to pull this off. Anyway, coach, how do you think the laning phase would go on for the first few minutes of the game?
So
We have, yeah, they actually went through the bottom lane already. So what about the top lane?
for the top lane, we have that's tri-lane on the side of the Radiant against the Puck. Now, a Puck is hard to kill even with a tri-lane because he has that phase shift. But I think they're gonna try something.
Okay,
If they
something's
catch us
happening
out,
at the top lane. Jack Hero didn't have the ice path, actually misses the dual bet on Kim, and Shadow Shaman had the Ether Shock skilled first before the shackles, so no way of him just locking down this spot. This is just harassment for you. Offensive harassment. You have the dual breath and the Ether Shock on both the support heroes on this Alchemist. Yeah, anyway, going back to your discussion about the top lane.
I would have said that the Radiant have an advantage here on the tri-lane because he could just shackle the Puck and transition into an ice path, even if the Puck is hard to pick off. If you can get the shackle on him, transition that into an ice path, and then the Alchemist channel stun. That's quite a long amount of lockdown, but they skilled quite oddly. They have the Ether Shock instead of the shackles. They have the dual breath instead of the ice path. So I don't think anything's gonna come from there anytime soon. And in fact, the Jakiro already rotates. He knows that this lane is unsafe for the Shadow Fiend, so he has to come and support him. But they're going to see the Jakiro with this ward here, so they know there's a movement coming up, and you see they're acting a bit more cautiously. But if Jakiro didn't rotate, I would say that the Shadow Fiend is quite easy pickings for this team. They have a good slow, two good slows actually, and a stun with Leshrac. Yeah, he actually got Edict and Split Earth. That's a lot of damage going in the way of any target that they managed to catch out. So Shadow Fiend had to be a bit more cautious, but now with the Jakiro, with the Ice Path and Dual Breath, he can be a bit more aggressive, knowing that he has a support to cover his back if needed.
Yeah. I just computed the stuns across the Alchemist and Shadow Shaman and Jakiro. If they actually went for the chain stun, they could have locked the puck down by around 4 seconds, 5 seconds to be exact. And well, and indeed, just as you said, it is actually a lot. So I don't know for what reason they were actually holding off on those disables. But anyway, they already missed the opportunity, so it's not much meaning talking about it now.
I think they predicted wrongly. They predicted incorrectly who they'd be laning against. Maybe they thought they'd be going against the tri-lane. So in case of the tri-lane, yeah, the Ether Shock would be okay because you're not going to shackle someone against the tri-lane. You're going to be a movement target as well if you do the shackle, because it goes two ways. So maybe he got the Ether Shock as a form of...
And at the bottom lane, we see action coming in now. The Lich actually slowed and going behind the Shadow Fiend. They're going to get the first blood with the Shadow Fiend, killing the Leshrac for the Radiant team, but it's going to be a double kill for the Bristleback. It was kind of a bold play coming in from the bottom lane, considering that it was a 2 versus 3. But I guess they miscalculated how much damage the Cold Spray could give you during that engagement. I think they were hoping that the magic wands would give them, at least for the Shadow Fiend, the magic would give him enough HP during that engagement to just survive that clash. Coach, do you mind showing up the net worth graph for the stream? Okay. Now, meanwhile, at the top lane, yeah, they were able to kill the Pog. I think it was a Sunstrike from the Invoker. Yeah, assist Sunstrike coming from the Invoker, and then auto attacks was coming in from the Shadow Shaman and just finishing him off.
If we check the last hits graph, actually the Radiant are leading by quite a bit. The top in the charts actually is Alchemist with 22 last hits, and then followed by Invoker with 18, and the Death Prophet 18 as well. So in mid, they're pretty much tied here. 19 and 2 versus 18 and 3 now. 19 and 3, pretty much even numbers. But here we see, for some reason, the Alchemist is getting really good farm. Getting that zone out with his Acid Spray. Too bad he doesn't have Grievel's Greed though. But
coming back.
I think it's okay since they got a kill there. And here at bot, yeah, the dual lane here is getting just zoned out by this tri lane. This is a hard tri lane to go against. You have that sustained damage coming out from the Bristleback and the Diabolic Edict. So I don't think that the Shadow Fiend is gonna be able to get too close, but he's farming. He has 16 last hits, actually number 4 in charts.
Oh, action coming in the top lane now. The Alchemist was caught with a Dream Call. He couldn't do anything. He was trying to escape, but he knew that he will be stunned by actually snapping the Dream Call, and he actually got auto attacked by the Pop Jet there. And now the bottom lane, something is also happening. I was able to catch it. Seems that Lich was actually killed.
I was watching. I was watching the bot lane when things happened. They took down the Jakiro first, but the Jakiro got a good ice path on 3 of them. So the Shadow Fiend was able to pick off one and almost killed the Leshrac, but the Leshrac was able to get away. Leshrac actually has a move speed of 315, so he actually moves quite fast. And now the Shadow.
Now at the bottom lane, the Invi Rune from the Death Prophet waiting to kill on that Shadow Fiend actually finds it, and all the slows, all those damage coming in from these 3 heroes, just consuming that HP, that little HP of whatever HP Shadow Fiend has. I mean, it's not, I believe it's not going to hit like 700 at this level. So when you have like a level 3 Crypt Swarm on top of you and a level 3 Frost Blast, there's no really running away if you're Shadow Fiend, and with no support, mind you. Now the bottom lane, Exorcism getting thrown down by the Death Prophet. Will they be able to defend this? Obviously, but I don't know. I'm kind of curious how the Dire team will be able to pull it off, considering that they just engaged on a team fight a few minutes earlier, and only a couple of them are actually refreshed for the fountain. So yeah, and indeed they do back out. Exorcism not going to be used on that tower, and essentially just somehow wasted. In manner of speaking,
that's a big win for the Radiant right there. The first Exorcism in the game, and it was wasted. I don't think it got even 3 attacks on the tower. I think
the Radiant team are actually engaging on top of their Dire team. Good Ice Path coming in from Nons, picking up the Lich. Bristleback tries to kill the Shallow Shaman. Sunstrike coming in, misses from Togepi, and now even Jakiro dies. Shadow Fiend is alone, throwing his ultimate. He doesn't have the souls there. Pulls up the magic wand, kills the Bristleback before he dies, finds a kill on that Leshrac. Wow, wonderful 3-for-3 exchange. And I don't know who the team fight was in favor of at the end of it, but it was 3 for Dire and 3 for Drake. Yes, please do so. Check the gold graph and experience graph and tell us what and who is leading now.
The gold graph and the EXP graph both point towards Team Meep Merp winning that last engagement. However, because of the last hits, Alchemist still has the highest gold in the game, and Invoker is a close second. So gold is actually around 1,300, 1,400 in the way of Tactica Gaming, but opposite of that, Team Meep Merp has around 1,000 experience advantage.
And the middle lane, they're going to find a kill on Seb right here. Shackle, Sunstrike, Ice Path coming in from 3 heroes. Wonderful chain stun. There's no way that Death Prophet could have escaped from that. No way for her to cast her silence and just.
Now they might just push for this. Yeah, there's the Serpent Wards.
Yes, Master Serpent Wards definitely going to take this tower. Fortification coming in. Will the Dire team defend? Lich is ready. He's actually on top of the Dire jungle. He's on the high ground. He has a Chain Frost up. Finds the first skill on the Invoker. He didn't throw the Chain Frost on top of the Invoker. I'm wondering why he didn't, although he does find a kill, the Shadow Shaman. Now Jakiro dies as well. It's a 2-4-0 actually in favor of the Dire team. And now it seems that the tower might be denied. Oh no, it doesn't go. It's not yet in the deny level. So not only did the Radiant team lose 2 heroes, they actually were not able to take down this tower, which could have been instrumental in their farm and in their gold. And now Zakir only is defending this tower alone. TP's coming in. We have, who is this? I think this is Shadow Shaman. Naru trying to defend. No wards right there. They have actually, they're going against 4 heroes. Ilusha coming from Shadow Shaman is gonna be punished for that. Bristleback auto attacking him. Ice Block coming in from Nuns. Sunstrike coming in from Togepi. Not gonna find anybody there. TP's coming in. This is Invoker. Will Invoker find a kill? This Death Prophet has the Invi rune. He's just actually sitting there, letting the exorcism do the damage. And this Togepi, wow, has the Hat of Midas, and it's not gonna do her anything. It's not gonna do him anything. Could have been he could actually go for the auto attacks, just harass the heroes, but obviously who would do that if you're against 4 heroes? Now Puck is actually ready. He has the haste rune. He could go in anytime with a Dream Coil, but the Dire team now disengages, and Alchemist just being left along the top lane, by the way, and he's continuing his farm. I think he's going for a straight cuirass, coach.
Let's check on the items. Wait, there we go. Yeah, he has the plate mail up, so he's probably going for an AC. He didn't go for the Midas. Pretty wise choice, I would think. But he still has no points in Grievous Greed. He has a maxed out Unstable Concoction, but he's never actually left the lane. So I think that's a waste of skill points right there. They actually denied the mid tower right now. But
yeah, just
back
now.
to the Alchemist. Yeah, it's a waste of skill points. He could have had the Grievous Greed if his intention was just to stay in the lane and farm away at creeps. If we check at the last hits, he has 71 last hits. That's a massive advantage over anyone else. And imagine how much gold that the Grievous Greed would have given with those 71 creeps.
And that's actually, it's not just a simple plus 1 or plus 2 gold on top of each last hit. It could have actually incremented during the time that the Dire team was busy trying to push the other lanes. And anyway, since yeah, indeed, it is a wasted use of skill points there. Although they are now able to get top tower, it's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange for the towers, and the exorcism is still on cooldown for the Dire team. They are ready to take the tier 2. Will the Radiant team defend, or are they going for a base race? In which case, I would strongly disagree with the decision making of the Radiant team if they're going to if they're just gonna go for the base race. Sorry about that. And now Invoker throwing in the meatball. Does he have the Ghost Walk? Invoke is still on cooldown, and this Bristleback is just constantly harassing the Close Spray, getting thrown and finishing him off. Shackles coming in from Narrow. They're going to lock the Bristleback down. The Raze finishing him off. The Shade Frost and the Crypt Swarm now finding the kill on the Shadow Fiend, and the tower goes down in way of Team Meep Merp.
That was 3 bounces of the Chain Frost right there. That was very unfortunate for the Shadow Fiend. He just ate that Chain Frost.
Yeah, this is Tactica Gaming really having a hard time going against Meep Merp.
Now, even with the farming advantage, we can see here that the last hits still go in favor of the Invoker, the Shadow Fiend, and the Alchemist. The Alchemist still on top in terms of last hits, but if we look at the gold, right now on top of the Alchemist is the Bristleback, and that's all from hero kills and tower kills. So even if they're not farming, they're not staying in lane to farm, they don't have a traditional 1 position carry like the Alchemist. They're still getting their advantage from taking down towers, getting more map control. Look at this map control. Look at how many wards the Dire have put. They have 3 wards along the river and sentry ward just to prevent any warding here, and 2 sentry wards at the bottom. Another sentry ward at the bottom, and another ward here at the jungle.
Radiant jungle.
Yeah. So that's a lot of ward control.
Yeah, they're making sure that the Tactica Gaming doesn't even cross the river. They wanna keep them there. And since they have the jungle warded, this is essentially locking down any farming capabilities besides the top lane and the besides the top lane, of course. So that's middle lane and the jungle and the bottom lane locked down by Team Meep Merp. They have full control on those areas, and now Tactic Game is having real big problems right there trying to farm because they actually pushed the top lane already. Any further movement, any further attempts to farm this area is too dangerous already because once you actually push the towers, you lose, even though you get more forward positions, you lose the capability to farm safely on that lane. Anyway, wards coming down, the Shadow Shaman. This is just defensive wards trying to help them sustain the team fights. Shadow Fiend finds a kill on that Leshrac. Now Bristleback is way into deep right here. Shadow Fiend throwing in the ultimate is going to find a kill on the spot. Both Lich and the Bristleback is now dying. Lich still has ultimate though. If it can actually land it properly and find a good number of bounces on the enemy team, on the Radiant team, they might actually turn this around and just continue with a push. And now they safely disengage. They realize that, hey, we actually dove in too deep, so maybe we should regroup. And bless you, coach. And now they're going back to the base.
So let's see what happened there. Oh, right now the teams are practically dead even on the gold. A bit of an advantage. That's a 1,000 gold swing going in favor of the Radiant during that last few minutes. The XP, yeah, they closed the gap from 2,000 to 0. Literally 0 experience difference right now. From
oh yeah, this is precious.
So yeah, despite the kill score, despite the towers down, they actually have the same amount. No, Dire has one more tower, but that's 3 towers against 2 towers. It's a pretty dead even match right now. So we'll have to see where this game goes. If Team Meep Merp are going to be able to push more towers earlier on, or if they're gonna let this Alchemist farm. Alchemist taking down Ancients. He has that 1 point in Grieval's Greed already, a value point. The cap is still the same at all levels, still going to be 30. So sometimes that 1 point is enough to give you a lot of gold value. Right now,
the top lane actually, yeah, he gets trapped with the Dream Coin, doesn't know where to go, although he is practically kiting the team's Desire team right now. Naru goes down first, trying to defend him, and Puck follows with a kill on the Shadow Fiend. Sunstrike coming in from Togepi, not gonna find a kill on this red man, and Meteor coming from the Invoker. This Puck, is he safe? Yes, he actually successfully evades it, but it's going to find himself trapped on that ice path. And now, at the very least, they actually get 1 kill out of the team fight. Puck is actually, this is the second time that Puck dives in too deep. I don't know what he's trying to pull, but he is constantly diving too deep into enemy lines. And I hear a Sunstrike coming in. No, barely hit it. Oh, he almost got the Leshrac. If actually delayed that Sunstrike, it would have found the kill. And wow, Togepi going for a Quas Exhort Invoker. This is so unlike him. Togepi, by the way, plays usually with a Quas Wex. Going for a Quas Exhort might not be the kind of Invoker build that he wants to pull off.
Oh, I can tell you why he has the Exhort.
Please do so.
Yeah, the Exhort Invoker, especially with the Meatball, primarily is used to control creep waves. Now, creep waves are very important in this Death Ball lineup because if you manage to turn the creep waves around, if there are no creep waves present, starting from the tier 2 towers onwards, the towers have backdoor protection, so they can't push as easily as if they had creeps. So the Invoker going for an Exhort is probably an attempt to clear creep waves as the Dire team push, because they know that the lineup here is a Death Ball. It's a very, very obvious Death Ball, and they want to stem that Death Ball push by getting lots of AoE damage in the form of the Exhort Invoker. And I think right now it's shown to have paid itself off. The Dire have only taken 3 towers in 18 minutes. Now, it would seem to be okay since the Radiant have only taken 2. The Dire actually have a 1 tier advantage here in the bottom tier 1 tower, but you should look at it asymmetrically. It's in terms of what the teams are trying to accomplish. The Death Ball lineup is built to demolish towers, and if they can't take towers down, then they've failed in their objective, while the objective of the Radiant is to get the Alchemist farmed as much as possible. And If we
Mm-hmm.
can see the net worth right now, the Alchemist is doing a pretty good job. He's second right now, 7277 gold, next to the Bristleback 75 gold. Pretty close, but we should see the Alchemist accelerate in his gold farming, since right now he has the AC and he has 1 point in Grievous Greed, a value point. Uh, as I mentioned, the bonus cap is still at 30 gold regardless of what level you are. So if you keep that creep killing streak going, it would still generate you a maximum bonus of 30 gold per kill. So if the Alchemist can get the streak going up, if the Invoker manages to hold their towers for a bit longer, and um, maybe if the Shadow Shaman can drop a ward here in the tier 1 bot tower, that's additional gold going their way. That could be Team Tactica's window to really get into this game. So right now, I think the pressure is on Team Meep Merp. They don't have a position 1 carry. Yes, they don't have a traditional right-clicking carry, an Agi hero or a strength hero that deals a good amount of right-click damage. Now, the Bristleback is, in his own right, a good right-clicker, but Bristleback is built more to be tanky than to deal damage. He's not going to be dealing those 700, 900 damage crits that a Phantom Assassin can bring. He's not going to be able to deal that 3-person insta team wipe by the Faceless Void or the Juggernaut.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
he's tanky in his own right. He can deal right click damage, but he's still no super late game carry. An Alchemist has the potential to do that from by having a massive gold advantage, by having all the items he needs, and also because Chemical Rage is a steroid. It gives him high amounts of regen and an insane attack time. He can literally get bashes every second if he gets a basher and an Abyssal Blade.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
where the power of Alchemist comes in. They have a better
Yeah.
position 1 carry than Team Meep Merp, and Meep Merp is on the clock right now. They have to win this soon before the Alchemist gets too big.
Yeah, and as you said, as you did mention right now, said the Alchemist is now second place when it comes to, if we're going to talk about the network. So this is just big, big, big pressure on Meep Merp. And not to mention that he actually just this very second, Alchemist went to the first place. And he's followed by Bristleback in second place, but the third and the fourth place in the network is just going in favor of the Radiant. It's Invoker and the Shadow Fiend. So Meep Merp running out of time to finish this game. If they don't make a move soon, this might actually be a big comeback for the Radiant team.
Yeah, if we take a look at the gold graph right now, it's just a little bit in favor of the Radiant. Around 900 to 1000 gold ahead, Radiant. And in EXP, it's pretty much dead even. Less than 200 EXP difference. So if it's going to be a close game, it's going to go in favor of the carry. But the Death Ball lineup is supposed to prevent that. If they want to succeed, they have to execute this lineup properly.
Yeah, meanwhile, something at the top lane is happening. Shadow Shaman gets picked off by the use from the Death Prophet, and the Bristleback auto attacks. The Lich actually finishes him off with that Frost Blast, and now they actually have a pretty bad engagement where HP, the hit points of the Guard team is dropping. Dream Coil actually, however, finds 3 heroes and locks them down. Chain Frost coming in from the Lich finds a kill on the Invoker, and also on the Jack Hero, and the Exorcism just gonna do an insane amount of damage on this tower. They might actually take this tower and keep on pushing. However,
the backdoor protection is on, I think, is it?
Yeah, is it? The fortification coming down for the Radiant team, so they're not gonna let this go down that easy. Meanwhile, Shadow Fiend is just pushing the bottom lane. He wants this so that he can actually, I think he's trying to stem the push. Now he's just going to casually walk away and TP to safety. Wow. I think what happened there was that only a few, I think it was just a 4-man defense from Tactica Gaming. And yeah.
Yeah, it was unfortunate that the Shadow Shaman got picked off that early. If he at least was able to drop the wards, it wouldn't have been that bad of a team fight for Tactica Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
But they lose the tower. So
there was actually a point where the hit points, the HP of the Dart team was just insanely going down at a very, very fast rate. But our team knew that they just simply had to disengage for a few seconds, get the mechanism off, which is, where is it? I did say, I think I
It's
believe
with
I
Lynch.
saw a mechanism.
It's
Oh
with
yeah,
Lynch.
and they were able to get the HPs back to a P clash, to get them prepped for another clash, and well, that's how they won the team fight. And again, during everything that was going down, Shadow Fiend wasn't there. Although now he has the BKB, he actually has a better firing potential against Team Meep Merp. Smoke of the Sea from the Radiant team coming in. They're going to try to find a clash. I think they're going to try to ninja the Roche. They have the Cuirass, and it's going to help them with with attack speed and the armor reduction. And add to that, they also have the Shadow Fiend passive. No, they're not going to go for the Shunt. They're just going to go for a workaround. They're going to find the puck, actually. And now the Dire team knows that the Radiant team is trying to gank them. The puck on the infield finds three Dream Cause and silences three heroes. Exorcism coming in from the Death Prophet. This Shadow Fiend going to beside Death Prophet, casts ulti. Death Prophet evades it with that Dual Scepter, but the Shadow Fiend wards, the Shadow Shaman wards going to find a kill on that. Death Prophet's now 2 for 2 exchange, while Puck throws a dagger on the Invoker. It's now 2 for 3 in favor of the Dire team. Now Alchemist is alone here. They're trying to chase him down. Who is the other hero? It's Jack Hero, already TP to safety. And now, that's the end of the team fight. Wrapping up, I guess it's a 2 for 3 in favor of the Dire team.
Yeah, that
Puck
was
actually
bad.
it's a very, very lucky Invi rune, if I may say so. I mean, Puck having that Invi rune during that very critical moment just gave him the position to catch 3 heroes, stunning them with the Dream Call, locking them down, and following up immediately with the Silence. Just absolutely amazing.
You know what? I observed a while ago. I think that team fight would have gone differently if the Alchemist wasn't a bit too greedy. If you noticed a while ago, the Courier went in for the Dire, and the Alchemist actually tried to kill the Courier. He got one attack in. He got one attack in, and then he tried to follow for a second attack, but he moved too far, and he actually broke the tether, the Dream Coil, which stunned him. And if he didn't go for that Courier instead, and if he went for right-clicking someone else instead, maybe dropping the acid spray immediately and then unstable concoction immediately, maybe they could have killed a bit more people, because they ran away with such low health. And it's those little things that make the difference. Now they only have one tier 2 remaining. They're going to defend this. They're going to have to defend this.
Yeah, and if they lose this, they're gonna get absolutely locked down, especially if the Dire team is stacking wards, which I don't think they are doing. But you know, a couple of wards can just easily lock down a team who has no tier 2 towers left. And wow, SOD coming in from the Dire team, just waiting for the right position to come in. They're gonna ward this and gonna see the Alchemist is alone. Will they come in? The Puck has the Blink Dagger and the Dagon. Will he brave the lines and just go in? Nothing happening. A casual harassment with the Illusory Orb. Grip Swarm coming, just following up with that Illusory Orb. Not gonna find any targets. And since Tactica Gaming is having their first difficult game, they're really trying to figure themselves out and trying to sort how exactly this will go, how exactly they will defend this.
Yeah, they're really fighting against the full force death ball, and here we go. I think we're gonna have an engagement right now.
And Dream Coil actually finds 2 heroes, forcing the BKB on top of that Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend walks beside them, melts the Struck and the pack. Now Puck and the Leech actually falls to the Shadow Shaman. His dominating streak gonna go away. Ice Path coming in from the Jack Hero, locking down the Bristleback, and auto attacks from the wards actually came in there, and wow, it was a 4-4-0 exchange, and now Death Prophet is alone. This is what the Dire team do not want to happen. I mean, if this keeps going, if every team fight keeps going like this, they're going to lose their momentum. Wonderful Ice Path there from Jacker, locking him down. Stuns coming in from the Alchemist and the Shackles from the Shadow Shaman, locking him down. Sunstrike gonna miss, but it's enough, I believe, because they're just gonna auto attack him down. And this is team wipe again. The Dire team was just team wipe right now. Tactica Gaming now pushing in the building. They can take this. Definitely, they can take this. And in a minute, the Shadow Shaman wards will be on cooldown, and they could actually try take the tier 3 tower.
Yeah.
The question is, yeah, go ahead, coach.
So let's tell the story of that last team fight. A while ago, the Dire were ahead by 1,000 gold, but that team fight gave a 4,000 gold upswing in favor of the Radiant. Now they're ahead of 3,000
Wow.
gold. And EXP, it was a 6,000 upswing in EXP. From negative 3,000, they went up to 3,000 gold. So that's 6,000
Oh,
difference.
yeah.
That's really a massive win for them with that team wipe.
Yeah,
And now
we were
the
just
top 3 net worth is Alchemist, Shadow, Fiend, and Invoker. Even if they've lost
Yeah.
so many towers, right now they're in a bit better position than just 5 minutes ago, just because of that team wipe.
And you know, it was just absolutely amazing. We were just talking about this before the team fight. Pre-team fight, we were saying that, wow, Tactica Gaming is really trying hard. It's really trying to figure out how to win this. And then suddenly they just absolutely demolished Meep Merp. And I think another factor there that we want to take note of is how brave, how needless, how carelessly brave, if that is a
This guy's
statement,
gonna die.
the Puck is. And Puck actually misses the silence, and this Alchemist can actually run. Chain Lightning coming in from Leshrac, no Split Earth coming in for the stun and the lockdown. And going back to what I was saying, this Puck is just too aggressive right now. He did make the dream call in top of 2 heroes, but that was a hero with BKB.
Yeah, I think it was the Puck getting caught out that did it for them. The Shadow Fiend, actually, great play by the Shadow Fiend, instantly wiping 2 heroes with that ult. He was dead center in those 2 heroes and just melted them right away. And the resistance was 5 to 3, also with the Shadow Shaman wards. And there was no way they can fight against that. You know, I was actually going to comment that the Shadow Shaman hasn't been utilized properly because he hasn't dropped a ward since the tier 1 mid tower.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he hasn't
Wow.
dropped a ward on the tower. All his wards have been defensive wards against team fights, so he hasn't had the opportunity to drop a ward on the tower. But
Yeah, on an offensive way,
as
right?
in
Yeah.
an offensive way. But you know, that last team fight with a good utilization of the wards to win that team fight, you know, it's easily worth it. The Shadow Fiend right now is pushing.
Yeah,
up.
it's pushing at the top lane. TP's coming in for the Dire team. They're gonna try to defend this. Oh, Split Earth not even gonna find that Shadow Fiend. BKB coming in for Shadow Fiend. He's going to throw his ultimate, misses the Puck. Sunstrike coming in from the Invoker, finds that Puck. If this Shadow Fiend decides that he can actually turn around and get a kill on the Puck, he might actually get an easier kill, but instead he decides to go for the Leshrac. Leshrac is going to throw the Split Earth now, gonna miss the stun. He can actually, this Shadow Fiend might actually TP to save it. He does.
Well played.
Wonderful.
Well played.
Wonderful tower snipe. Well played there, Shadow Fiend. Absolutely distracting a total of 4 heroes for the push at the bottom lane. Actually taking a tower yourself. Wow. Although an Aegis was used, it's, well, you can always think of Aegis as a good to have consumable, but yeah, well played, coach. I have no words.
That is one of
That
the
was
best
amazing.
uses of the Aegis I've ever seen.
Yes, you have the pods, right?
Yeah,
You can actually,
you forced
can-
out the team push from bot. You forced a reaction from them. 4 people TPs. That's 600 gold, and then you lose an Aegis, but you take down a tower, and you
Yeah.
still keep yourself alive. And that's really amazing from the Shadow Fiend. That's keeping calm under pressure. He used the BKB earlier on to try to get movement towards a kill. But when he resurrected, he just put himself in a better position and TP straight away. He knew that the opponents had no stun against him. He knew that he would be able to TP out, and that's just really good composure.
good, good analysis. He didn't panic. He knew that the Split Earth was on cooldown. He's coming in for the Puck. This is going to be another aggressive dive in, I'm afraid. But no, he refuses, disengages, waits for the team. And yeah, and going back to what you said, very good. Yeah, well said. I could have not said it any other way, coach. It was a very nicely computed escape and tower snipe and whatever distraction, whatever he pulled off that a few minutes ago. It completely gave the Radiant team more lead, a bigger lead in both experience and in gold.
Now, if you take a look at the gold graph, for most of the game, gold and EXP graph, actually, it's really, really close to the middle line, going
Mm-hmm.
both ways a few times. But right now, towards the end, we can see close to a 10,000 EXP advantage for the Radiant, and
Mm-hmm.
over 10,000 in gold actually. You can see the Alchemist starting to snowball with that level 4 Grievous Creed. He's close
Mm-hmm.
to getting a heart, I believe. Yeah, he can
Mm-hmm.
actually get that heart if he wanted the heart. So right now, mid, Ali, take it away. Are you there? Hello? Okay, so my co-caster got disconnected. Let me just pick that up for a while. Alright, I think he's out for a while, so um I'll pick up the cast for a bit. They keep on trying to push this tower, but Tactica Gaming is just giving them no room to do so. Right now, this is where we see the Death Ball lineup fall off. They were this lineup is designed to take down towers early, but they weren't able to get too much of that tower kill advantage. I think they went too much with team fights. Earlier on, they were focused more on team fights than pushing down lanes, and I think they suffer for that. But right now, wards are dropped. Offensively, they can actually attack the tower. Death Prophet puts the exorcism out. I think the Shadow Shaman's gonna fall. Shadow Shaman falls, but now the Meep Ball, comboed with Deafening Blast, deals a lot of damage. The Bristleback still too tanky. That's the back. They're not gonna take that down. And the Sunstrike killing the Lich. Alright, so now that's a 3-4-1 exchange. The puck goes back, kills someone with the Dagon. That was the Jakiro. The Bristleback showing his front to the Shadow Fiend. That's not a good idea. And stun. This Bristleback is going down. The puck has to retreat. There's only one of him left. That's a 4-man down for the Dire. A buyback from the Death Prophet, but I'm not sure what the Death Prophet can do. She has no exorcism right now. Maybe she'll try to clear the creep waves to the Crypt Swarm. And another buyback from the Bristleback. But the mid-rax has fallen, and I think the Radiant, yeah, wisely the Radiant retreat.
Oh, sorry about that. Did I miss a lot?
Yeah. They take down Team Tactica Gaming just took down the mid-rax.
Oh crap! I missed a lot. I'm so sorry, coach.
That's okay. I got this. I got this.
You the man. You the man. You're the real MVP. Anyway, so yeah, I was lost, and apparently, yeah, they lost the racks, and this is just wow. 10,000. We're now looking at the 10,000 experience lead, and the 12,000 gold lead in favor of Tactica Gaming. This is so much, considering how much they were behind Meep Merp during the first 20 minutes of the game. This is a big leap. It's like they never actually had a bad early game.
Yeah.
So SODs coming in from the team Meep Merp, 5 of Insight getting used, and everybody's just getting, it's a double initiate with the Ice Path, but missing the Ice Path because of the Tornado, and now we see the Tyrell Insight getting used so much because of all the spells, wards coming in from the Shadow Shaman, Invoker finding the kill on that Leshrac, and Bristleback goes down to the wards. Now they're chasing down the Death Prophet. Fuck, meanwhile, behind, in parallel, while everything was going on, he was picked off by the Shadow Fiend. Yules coming in from the Invoker, gonna knock this Death Prophet down. Ice Path coming in, and wow, when the stuns and the auto attacks and everything, just another 4-hero wipe in favor of Tactica Gaming. And this is exactly what Coach was talking about. When you have a Death Ball push lineup, you do not want the late game to kick in. That's the last thing that you would want your team to that's the last place you would want your team to be in. Actually, it's a position that every Death Ball lineup hates, or rather finds so hard to get back from. Now Shadow Shaman finds a Hex on the Leshrac, and the Sunstrike gonna find an Ice Path from Nun's gonna lock him down. Auto attack from the Invoker, going to make sure that he's going to find a kill. Chain Frost still alive, however. Togepi destroys the first hit, the first onset of the Chain Frost, and now top racks is going to get called. And GG coming in from the Dire team. And well, coach, I think this is a GG. Yeah, and they're just everyone's just trying to wrap up with everything here. Shadowfiend throwing the ultimate, gonna find nothing, but they're just gonna chase the heroes down. They find a kill on the Lich and the Bristleback. We can see this Death Prophet just hiding in the shadows, and I don't know where the other. Oh, everyone else is dead, and they're just gonna wrap up and finish the towers. And GG is called. Wow, a big comeback coming in from Tactica Gaming, and now we will be moving to the next game. To the viewers, thank you for watching the first game. Please stand by for the second game between Tactica Gaming and Meep Merp while we while we organize the next lobby for the game. Coach, I will see you in a few minutes. Let's take 5.
Yeah.
All right, and again to the viewers, please stay tuned for the next game. Well played, Tactica Gaming. And yeah, see you in a few moments.